Hey guys, so up here in Maine, snow's on the ground, it's very slippery, and obviously slipping and falling is a big concern. When people slip on the ice, generally, uh, it's generally not survivable. In other words, you wind up with something a chipped bone, a sprained something or other, minimally a pretty nasty contusion. Generally speaking, when you slip on the ice, it's a quick fall. You begin to fall, your legs are stiff, your back is stiff, and you bam like a plank, and that's how we get hurt. Well, you saw my ankle videos from 2 weeks ago, and I want to talk to you about subconscious trauma. Remember, the subconscious is that which is underneath your conscious, meaning your body. It is the unused portion of our brains, but it is also tied into where the trauma resides in our bodies. So, because my ankle gave me so much pain when I first twisted it 2 weeks ago, or rolled it, there is trauma in that area, and that trauma is connected to my brain. So I've got fear. So I've been walking, although I'm back on my feet with a pretty nasty sprain in a matter of a couple of days due to this breath work that I do. And by the grace of God, obviously, that's who gave me this gift to begin with. but so I walk, especially on the ice, with fear of another painful injury. That in and of itself can be what causes another painful injury. Why? I noticed it yesterday when I was walking on the ice. When I'm afraid of re-injuring or another injury, I walk stiff from the waist down. How come? Because it's much like if we're trying to get through something, we turtle up, and we might push on a door or something, or even the body. If we bump our elbow, the body swells up and becomes stiff there to kind of guard and put a natural armor around the injured area. Well, that's not just the body's reaction, that's the subconscious reaction. It's also the fear reaction. So I've got pain, or recently had pain in that ankle. So now I'm walking and it's very slippery and it's greasy. So I'm walking kind of on guard, trying to guard myself against hurting that again, or slipping on the ice and experiencing that incredible pain again. So I walk, like this. Now, if my waist is tense, my shoulders are tense. If my shoulders are tense and my waist is tense and my ankles are tense, my whole body is tense. Which means what? It's not just how you land when you fall. It's what kind of a state are you in while you're walking before you fall. If I'm walking afraid of falling, so I'm tense and I'm stiff, I'm already walking like a stiff plank. Now when I start to slip, like follows like. So if I'm stiff, guarded while I'm walking, I'm going to be stiff and afraid when I start to fall, which means a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm going to land like a plank and everything's going to be hurt. So what I realized is that if we take the energy from the ankles or from the legs and we relax the hips and we relax the shoulders and we inhale, giving us the idea that the origin of our movement is up in the heart area, my legs suddenly become light. I'm not heavily on the ground watching my every move, where I can feel all the tension and all the weight right in my legs, and I'm watching every move. That is a recipe for not only slipping and falling, but not being ready to slip and fall. You're stiff. If I take that fear in my legs, that tension, and breathe it up to my heart and exhale it, everything becomes light. And now I start moving as if somebody is pulling me from my chest, just a little bit. The movement doesn't start in my legs. The consciousness is not down in my legs. Yes, the leg movement starts in my knees, but the chest and the knees move together. It's like if my consciousness is up here, my legs suddenly are no longer worried. My hip is no longer tense. My shoulders are no longer tense. And now, because I'm all light down here, if I start to slip and fall, okay, I'm good. I can crumple. Why can I crumple? I can crumple because my legs are not stiff with fear. If they're loose while I'm walking, they'll be loose while I'm falling. Now, I don't want you to go out and fall on the ground, but try it. Put your consciousness up here and walk around, starting your leg movement in your knees, but kind of like you're being pulled from up here. And keep your consciousness up here. See how loose and relaxed your whole body gets. You'll be much better off to survive a fall than you would if you're walking stiff and afraid of falling.